What's up? It's Brandon here. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Ennui wrist guards that I brought from Thorough Skate Shop. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's how Google told me, so...
Ennui. Ennui.
Anyway, my first impressions is that they look cool, they seem high quality, and they seem supportive, especially with this nice little strap here. A bit of background on me, the only other wrist guards I've ever had came in like a $40 pack that had knee pads and elbow pads, and they all didn't fit me, so I never really used them. But it should mean these have a pretty good advantage of being good to me. But let's just jump right into it and get into the pros of these wrist guards here. One of the more unique features of these wrist guards, in here they have a little pad, I have no idea what it is, but it's a little cushion for when, it's like a shock absorber when you land, making it a little bit more comfortable, and you don't feel this like hard plastic bit so much. When you have them on, it does not feel like you're ever going to be able to break your wrists at all. They're somewhat comfortable too. The first ones I ever had, I really felt the like support plastic bit that's in here digging into my wrist, and this one I can't feel it. Same with this one because of that cushion, it's quite comfortable. The strap system too does work really well. I really like this little, I don't know what you call it, little elastic band thing. It's like, you can get it quite tight and it's still quite comfortable. Moving on to the cons though for these wrist guards. I know I said they're comfortable, but I still find them quite uncomfortable. The whole time I have them on. For a wrist guard they're comfortable, but the whole time I have them on I don't want to have them on. This is the thing I notice. I really notice that I have them on. Even if I like really try get used to wearing them, kind of like with the helmet. There's no point when I'm wearing them where I don't know I'm wearing them. It's quite restricting, you know. That's kind of the point of them, I guess, but I think one of the weird things when I skate, to help myself get into like rail grooves and stuff, I really use my wrists, which doesn't make any sense, but this really stops that, and I guess every time I try to do that, I notice I'm wearing them more, so unique style thing from me, I guess. Another con is, I think they're quite hard to wash. There's a plastic bit in this side, right, to brace your wrist that you cannot remove, and the front one can come out, which makes me think you could probably put it in the wash, but I don't feel too good about doing it. Another con, I've only had these for not very long at all, and I've only fallen them probably like 3 times, barely, and they've really worn in quite a lot, you can see. Like, I'm going to rip straight through this lever very soon. And these look scratched as shit, and like this is ripped out, you know, and then just like, I mean, they've still got life in them, but I can see this, you're ripping straight through this with a few falls, you know. Fall like 10 times and you're screwed. So, might not be the best design. Another thing I felt makes me feel very unsafe in them is my fingers feel a lot more prone to getting hurt. And I feel like I have less control over saving my hands now that I have this big solid thing on them. It just feels like, you know, I mean, I'm sure fingers heal a bit nicer than wrists, but I just feel like even every time I put my hand down or like climb up something or whenever I fall, it's straight to my fingers, and you really feel a lack of support there. And I did fall on them once, and it was on really rough ground, so I was wearing these, and it saved my hand really well. But it's, instead of sliding on my palms, which probably wouldn't have been too bad, I went straight to my thumb and took a big chunk out of it, and it was pretty horrible. And like that wouldn't have been anywhere near as bad if I wasn't wearing them. And since I did that to my thumb, I wanted to keep wearing them so I didn't worsen my hand. And this meant that they were very hard for me to take off since I couldn't use this hand to get it off. And they ended up ripping, which I'm very unimpressed with. If you can see here. I ripped straight through it, and now every time I put it on, I can feel it getting worse and worse. And this was like the 3rd day I used them, so I was very unimpressed by that. It definitely was the way I was taking it off, but you know, the whole reason my finger was extra hurt was because of these. So I think in the long run for me, wrist guards aren't a good idea. I think I'd be better off with like a glove or something less restraining. I'm definitely still using these now, but I'm not going to wear them every time I skate. I'm going to wear them whenever my hands are probably already damaged or something, just to help them heal. Now overall I have to say these are pretty average wrist guards. For the money, they're pretty worth it, but I definitely wouldn't say they're perfect. I almost wouldn't recommend them just because of how fast they're wearing in. It does seem like they should last a bit longer than that, but they don't. There was a similar one called I think it's called the Allround wrist guard or wrist brace or something. And I almost got that one. I looked at it and I got to try it on. But first thing I noticed about it is the little glove bit of it on the inside. It wasn't as thick, and it made me think that would rip easier than this one. And it felt less, it felt cheaper, even though it was more expensive. So I think it's kind of a lose-lose there. If you are looking for a wrist guard, I don't think there is much better out there at the moment. But this is not going to last too long either, so you're kind of screwed. But I have to not recommend them myself because just from how quickly they've worn in and how they ripped on me and stuff, I'm not overly impressed. But I do recommend wrist guards in general. I think they can be a lot of help, and they can save you from breaking your wrist and from scraping your palms up. And especially if you've had a wrist injury before, they'll help a lot. But yeah, like I said, I should probably get gloves, not wrist guards. Anyway, it's a quick video today, but that's my review for these wrist guards. The weather has cleared up a lot finally here.
Is that focusing?
So I should be able to get out there and film a B-roll for the trick list for you guys this week. I know there's none last week, but it was shit weather, trust me. I've also been getting out streeting with my boy Hucker, and I'm hyped to start putting a new VOD together, so get hyped for that. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys Wednesday with a B-roll, so peace out.